So we're talking about surface area, rectangular prism. We have here our net. You might have done nets in elementary school. This, okay? So today, when we talk about surface area, it's like talking about wrapping paper. So if I had this box and I wanted to wrap it up with wrapping paper, surface area is, well, how much wrapping paper do you need, right? So let's pretend this is my wrapping paper, this is my box. Well, how much do I need to cover up the whole box? Obviously, I need a lot more wrapping paper, right? But that's what it is. And if we take our box and unfold it, it becomes a net like this. How many sides does a rectangular prism have? How many sides? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many sides does this box have? 6, right? The front, the back, the top, the bottom, left and right, right? So, in order to do surface area, we need to find the area of each of these shapes. So, the math is not hard because it's just area. Okay, let's look at the front. The top part. How do I find the area of this rectangle? How do I find the area of a rectangle? Yes. So, yes, the area is length times width, right? You learned that. Very good, Season. Thank you for helping me understand that it's length times width, Christian. So, some of you said it's going to be 10 times what? 7. Very good. So, our area is 70 centimeters squared. Good. So that's the area of this top rectangle. Now let's do the front rectangle. What are the measurements? Well, what does this measure? 10 times what? 5. In this case, it's 10 times 5. So what is our area equal to in this problem? 50 centimeters squared. What would be the bottom?
0. 10.
Now this one. 5. How many of you say it's 5? How many of you say it's 7? Okay, well there's one way to find out to make sure. If I take this and fold it, you should be able to determine the number. So I'm looking for this blue line, right? Well, there's no information on this side, right? But if I turn it, this side is really 5, right? Because you see how it matches there? 5 and 5. So what does this match up to? So this one's 7. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and figure that out. 5 and 7, right? Because they match up. Go ahead and do that with yours. And write 7 and 5. Do and figure out, okay, where does the 5 go? Where does the 7 go? If you fold it, you'll see it. 5 and 7. They match up, right? So, cool. What is the blue line equal to? 5 or 7? 7, right? Because it's like a rectangle. The top and bottom are the same. So this is actually 7. So what is the area of the bottom rectangle? Area.
17 squared.
Good. Okay. What's the area of the back? Well, what does this measure? We know this one's 10. What about this one? Let's 5?
Yeah.
How do you know it's 5? This one, right? Like that? 5. This is 5, so therefore This is 5. So what is our area of the back? 50 centimeters, whoa, squared. Okay, cool. Good job, guys. Is the math hard? No, it's just trying to figure out what the numbers are. All right, what is the area of the left and or right side?
35 squared.
Good. Area is equal to 5 times 7, so area is equal to 35 centimeters squared. This side, area equals 35 centimeters squared. Do we understand where we got 35? Yeah. Because it's 5 times 7, right? Those are the measurements, 5 times 7. So this is 35, and this one's 35. It's a lot of math going on, but it's not terribly difficult. It's just a lot to keep track of. All right. Now, in your notebook, you're going to leave the left side blank, and you're going to take some notes on the right side, like a 2-column. Okay. You are going to write down the words top, bottom, skip a line, front, back, skip a line, left, right. Okay, we're good? We wrote that down? Okay, now we're going to tell me, you're going to write down the areas of each of one. So what's the area of the top? 70. What's the area of the bottom? Bottom. 70, good. What's the area of the front? 50. What's the area of the back? Area of the left? Area of the right? Can someone tell me what you notice? Especially the way we wrote this. Yes, Yael?
The way that we wrote them, that the numbers match?
Yes. So we notice that these numbers match, right? So the top, bottom are the same. Front, back is the same. Left, right's the same. And if we notice that, what kind of 5 is that? Jeez. I know. Coincidentally, it does go biggest to smallest. What this will allow us to do is actually do half the work. So if you do the work for the top, all you have to do is copy the answer for the bottom because you already did the work. Okay? So the perfect example is this box, right? You see, this is our biggest rectangle, right? Does it match this rectangle? No. Does it match this rectangle? No. But this front side matches perfectly to this back side, right? And this side, left side or right side, matches perfectly with the other side, right? And then the top and the bottom. Now, a lot of kids always ask me, Miss Lameli, where am I going to use this math in the real world? Right? Like, oh, why? Well, here's one perfect example. A mathematician came up with the measurements of this box to produce. It figured out, well, what are the measurements of this? In order to create this box, it started like this. But someone had to make the measurements. And basically, it was the measurements to this product. So this little tiny, it's a document camera. I got it for free. So someone created this document camera, right? And they said, okay, here is the document camera. Create a box that will hold this document camera and the wires and everything. Okay? I didn't fold it up correctly. But this is, now do I want to spend a lot of money creating this box and using a lot of cardboard to put this in? No. So a mathematician had to figure out, okay, here's my product. What is the smallest box I can design to fit this product? Because if I make this too big, I'm spending more money on the box, more resources. If I make it too small, it's not going to fit, and I just spend a lot of money and a lot of resources. So there is actually a mathematician out there at every company, because all our products come in shipping, right? All our products come in boxes. So there's someone creating all of these nets and making a lot of money to figure out this. Okay? Yes?
Is it also useful for buying a house?
Yes. Yeah. So you want to know your surface area of your house as well. So, but something, especially nowadays where we get everything delivered and everything's in a box, you never thought of like the box for the PlayStation. You're like, oh, let me get to it. Let me get inside of it. But someone out there designing the PlayStation is also designing the box that it goes in. All right, enough of that. Surface area equals, add up all of this, and what do we get?
Yeah.
310 centimeters squared. Why is it squared? Because we're talking about area. And every time area is mentioned, we got to square it. Okay, are we okay?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to hand out glue. Now, the only part you're going to glue is the following. You're going to put a little bit of glue where it says bottom, and that's it. Then you're going to put it right next to your work. And then, why? You can still create your box, right? You can still like go, oh, I need to find the area of each of the sides. But when it's time to close your notebook, it still closes, right? So when you need this at home for your homework, you can still rebuild it. It's still there. But when you need to store your notebook, it stores flat, okay? So all you have to do is put some glue on the bottom, literally where it says bottom. All right.
Read the bottom. Then we can't see the bottom.
It's the same thing as the I gave directions. So what did Miss O'Malley ask you to do? Fantastic.
Don, you have it on your computer. You're working on what the bottom looks
Practice what we learned. Oh, you need. No, you have. All right. Okay, I've given you all enough time to glue. Okay. Do not put away your notebooks. You're going to show your work in your notebooks. There's so many numbers that we have to do. Notebook is the only way. So, we have our notebook opened up. And we're going to write number 1 here next to our prism. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write F, B. What do you think F and B stand for? Front, back. Then I'm going to write L, R. What does L, R stand for? Left and right. And then T and B. What is T and B? Top and bottom. Fantastic. All right. So this goes in our notebooks. You see me writing in your notebook. In my notebook, I should say, so everybody is writing in their notebook. Yes, we have this. All right. Now, one of the hardest parts of this is determining the measurements that we need to multiply. So looking at number 1, I'm going to highlight basically the front view. So this is my front, right? What are the measurements? There's 2. What are the measurements, the length, the width of the front side? What is the length and width of the front side? What 2 numbers am I going to multiply by? So I'm going to multiply 13 and 3. Those are my measurements from the front side. So in my notebook, I'm going to write that down. That I'm going to multiply 13 times 3. Very good. Whoops. Equals 39. Now, do I need to show any work for the back? No. It's already there, right? So what do I have to write down for the back? Just 39, because I already know that it's 13 times 3. It's the same. Now let's do the left side. You have to figure out, the hardest part is figuring out the measurements of the left side. What are the 2 measurements of the left side? This is 9, and then what is this? 3. Very good. So I'm going to write in my notebook 9 times 3. And what's 9 times 3? So what's the right side? You guys can put the glue stick as well in the box. Glue stick and scissors. Thank you, Mr. Alex. Now, the last one we got to do is the top and bottom, right? So up here, take a moment to figure out what are the dimensions of that top part. What 2 numbers have we not multiplied together? What are the 2 numbers we haven't multiplied together? What 2 different numbers?
3 and 13.
Okay, so what is the measurement of this line right here? 13. And what is the measurement of this line? 9. Right? So then it's 13 times 9. And look, I haven't multiplied 13 times 9. What's 13 times 9? Very good. So then the bottom is also 117. Hardest part is figuring out the 2 numbers. Once you do that, it's easy. Okay, let's go ahead and add, and you may use a calculator to add these numbers up. Adam, you may use a calculator to add these numbers up. 183, I doubt it, because this one's 117 and 117. So there alone you have over 200. Add them up. Most definitely has to be more than 100. Most definitely has to be over 200, right? No. So it's surface area is equal to 366 inches squared. You have to add the 39, 39, 27, 27, 117, and 117 together. Yeah. You could also add 39, 27, 117, and then times 2. I literally just thought of that. Oops. All right, we're good? Check your numbers. Did you have all these numbers right, and did you accidentally add incorrectly? That happens. Just take your time on adding. All right, number 2, same thing in your notebook. Start off in your notes by writing F, B, L, R, T, B. That's the first part. Let's go.